Hello, everybody. It is Carole Garrison with Carole's Creative Escape. It is Monday, May 22nd, and I'm back, sort of. I've got a temporary situation set up right now for me to be able to go live tonight. I just couldn't stand having another week where I couldn't be live and presenting to you. Hey, Beth, my window remodel here isn't quite finished. They did get the window put in, but there was a delay in the shipment of the window, which caused a delay in it being installed in the house. So right now I've got an unfinished window and I wasn't able to put any of my craft stuff away. So I am making do. I've actually rearranged my sewing machine table and tried to set stuff up on to that table to at least be able to show you how to make a card gift holder type thing tonight. I am hoping that by next week, and I think I should be back to normal, as normal as I can be in my house, I think. We have decided that we're also going to be painting our basement as long as all the furniture and stuff is moved, but that shouldn't take very long as I'm working through it. So that's my basement remodel update. Like I said, I'm kind of coming to you from a quick little cutting table sort of setting. So I've been trying to actually make a quick, easy gift card holder for you since we're into the season of graduation. And as you can tell, I'm not 100% looking up right now because I'm madly scrambling to finish that sample up for you so that I can show you how to make it. But I'm getting there. Like I said, our contractor is really good. He's been very good about staying in touch with us. Hi, Lynn. So we've kind of known where the progress has been. It's just not going as fast as either the contractor or we would like, but it is what it is. He's been very good about letting us know when he is and isn't going to be here so that we don't have our dog locked up in his crate unnecessarily. And in fact, we're now to a point where we're just leaving him out and he doesn't have a problem with it. So that part is all good. But it makes it really hard to get into my creative space. And then because I don't have space to store anything, because right now it's all still shoved into a couple different rooms, it's been hard to actually get creative. So today I found an easy gift card to make. It's just poor use of my time in judging how long it was going to take, but we're going to get there. And I figured with graduations coming up and maybe summer birthdays and stuff like that, it was probably a good time to get a little creative here. And then I'm hoping after this that, like I said, I'll be back on a more normal cycle with doing work. It's been kind of frustrating and I've really missed being with people as I'm working through on my cards too. So anyhow, I am going to just flip my camera over. Just excuse me as I bounce your way through here just a second. And then I've got to clear off a little bit of space on my makeshift table here so that I can also see what I'm doing. And of course, in the meantime, I need to sort of watch what I'm doing on Facebook because I have no guidelines for where my hands and my camera setting piece is at. And my iPad is being slow picking up the internet. It doesn't like the... Anyhow, this is just kind of how life has been. It's cool. We'll get through it. This weekend I did have my garage sale where I was selling retired product, and it really went well. I do still have product left, so I'm working on coming up with a second date and hopefully getting maybe a couple people to join me so that, there we are. Hey, I'm live. Another good hair day on Carole's part. That's all right. Anyhow, so there may be some other people joining me for that one. I'm still working out the details. But I had some fantastic sales and I think really good pricing, so people were excited about that. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I apologize, I've got kind of one light that I can use for my lighting, and it looks like it's kind of making things turn pink. I'm not quite sure why, but we're going to make this work, guys. So this is the gift card that I'm showing you. I am using the designer series paper called Fresh as a Daisy, and I will show you more of this paper. It's really pretty. And then along with that, I'm using the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. Actually, on this card, I did not use that set because I used the sentiment, let's celebrate. And then on the inside of this card, your graduation. That's from the Sentimental Park. And basically, this card is using designer series paper. I've used some die cuts. And then we've got this cute little pocket here that you could tuck in a gift card or cash, or if people are still using it, the old-fashioned check. Cute little graduation or birthday card, or you could even use it as a thank you card with a gift card holder in it. Just all sorts of fun things that you could do with that. So I've added the die cuts and popped up my sentiment on the outside. So that's one card. The colors in this would be Early Espresso, Basic White, Garden Green, Crushed Curry. And then I've used Garden Green kind of as my accent color. This inside piece is the Pebble, I think it's called Pebble Rock. It's one of the new in colors. And it's kind of a grayish brownish color. It's very pretty. So let's just jump right in on how to make this card because it is super quick and simple. And on the card that I am going to be showing you, I am using the dies that are part of the suite. They're called the Cheerful Daisy dies, and they coordinate with the Cheerful Daisy stamp set. No surprise there, right? And then I have chosen to use a piece of designer series paper, again from this suite, and it has the Pretty Peacock color, which is a returning color. This used to be an in color. The Lemon Lolly is the lighter yellow with the Crushed Curry showing through. And then this is the Pecan, and I apologize because I don't have all of my colors in front of me yet. This one is called Copper Clay on that one. And the other color is Pebbled Path that I was trying to get out the inside of this card. So what I am going to do is show you how to make this card. Now on this card, I've got my angle pocket on the left side. When I make this card, I'm going to show you how easy it is to put that angle pocket here on the inside of the card too. And we'll just flip-flop a little bit how the card layout goes. So very easy card to make. You need to start with a piece of designer series paper that measures 5 1/4 by 12. You're going to score it at 4 and again at 8. And I should mention that the idea for this card came from a demonstrator by the name of Tamara Bertram. She had a video. It looks like it's actually been out for a couple of years based on the paper that she was using, but I really liked that layout, and it fit perfectly with what I was looking at tonight in terms of being able to make a quick and easy card. Hey April, it was really nice seeing you on Saturday. Hope you are enjoying those new stamps that you got. Hi Kay, thanks for joining us. In addition to this, you need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so the final layout on the card will be a full-size card. And then I used scraps of Basic White to create some flowers as well as my sentiments. And then there is a piece of Basic White cardstock that measures 3, told you I'm right in front of my sewing machine. Let me get my measuring tape out. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And that's going to go on the inside of my card. So let's get started real quick. And I am even using, I went on a girls' weekend right before this remodel started, and I never got my bag unpacked, which means I don't even have my current cutting board. So I'm using my old paper trimmer. And that's just more because I'm not sure where my other one is right now in the piles of stuff down here. But I have scored it at 4 inches and again at 8 inches. Remember, when you're doing designer series paper, you don't want to press down super hard because you will tear the paper. And then the other thing for this card is make sure when you cut your paper, both going the length of it, or in this case, I guess it would be the width of it, that the cut that you make has your flowers going, or your pattern going the right direction if it does have a directional tilt towards it. And then to get that angle piece, all you're going to do is line up your score line in that cutting trough of your cutter trimmer and swing the corner. Hopefully I've got this on camera here. I'm going to look. Swing the corner of your designer series paper into the trough as well. So you basically want your score line up here and the corner of your paper lined up with the trough, and that'll give you a real nice angle. Now, the other thing that I like to do when I'm making a cut like that is to actually put my cutting blade in the middle and push it down, because then it tears the, it cuts into the paper, and you don't end up, how sometimes you can kind of fray and tear the paper. You don't end up doing that by catching an edge when you're cutting at an angle like that. And so now I've got my perfect triangle. I've got a little piece I can use on another card, and that will make my fold. So I should be done using the trimmer, and then all I need to do at this point is fold along the score line and fold this edge along the score line. And you know what, it doesn't look like I maybe had my score lines quite right, so I'm going to fix that and kind of force a little bit of one just by lining my edges up, and then I can burnish it in, and that way my edges will all line up. Not a big deal. All right, so now we've got our pocket on the inside of the card, and to give a little strength to the front, that's where we're going to tape, or adhere rather, our cardstock. Now, I again am still searching for some of my stuff that is all packed up. So I was able to find tear and tape, and that's what I'm going to use as my adhesive as I'm adhering things. Don't recommend this as a normal practice. It works, and you certainly have the ability to do that. Tonight and in this video, I'm actually doing it this way simply because that's what I have access to. It works. And like I said, I was gone 2 weeks where I didn't have anything to show you, and I just didn't want to be away any longer. I wanted to at least get something out for people to watch. And this I'm just centering right in the middle of my flap here. So this does two things, is it gives me a place to write, but it also makes this front flap a little bit sturdier. And then the next thing that we're going to do is put another piece of tear and tape along that corner. This is something I would normally do whenever I've got a flap or something that needs to be stronger and hold something in. I will use tear and tape. It's my favorite tape to use for stuff like this because it really does adhere well. And whoops. Oh, you guys, I just ran out of tear and tape. Fear not. For some reason, I had several pieces of that, or several little rolls in my little storage bag that I could find. Lucky for us. All right. It'll be nice to have this project done and my room put back in order. The window really is nice though, and it's going to give some good natural light down here, so I am excited about that. And when it's done, I'll post my after pictures for you. All right, so there we go with our flap. Now I notice I don't have it completely squared when I cut my diagonal. That isn't probably going to show on this card, so I'm certainly not going to get rid of this, and would encourage you not to either. I happen to be using Pretty Peacock as my background paper, and luckily for me, this is also the Pretty Peacock, so it's going to blend right in. Oops, I was trying to use this adhesive, but it's why I don't use this adhesive anymore, is it bunches up like that, and that's why I jumped back over to using, oh, I don't want it on this side. Whew. I wanted here this side of the card. Oh, look at this. I have another roll of tear and tape. We'll see if the third time is the charm. All right. This one I know I have enough of. So again, I'm just using tear and tape tonight for those of you just joining in or watching this later. I'm in the midst of a remodel in my crafting area, having a window installed, and that meant I had to pack everything up. So I'm kind of working with limited supplies here. Normally I would use the liquid green glue or my regular seal adhesive, but I don't have access to it right now, and I forgot to leave some out where I could access it. So I am choosing to use the tear and tape because it's what I've got available. All right, so I've added my adhesive to the back of my card, and now I'm just going to center this onto my cardstock. And I heard a demonstrator give a tip one day that if you look at opposite corners, you're going to have it centered pretty well. So this corner and this corner look pretty even, which for the most part works. I think I'm a little tilted on this, and we're just going to leave it like that because now that it's on there, it's not going to come off. I will probably replace this before I give it to somebody, but for purposes of what we're doing tonight, this works just fine. And then to show you where the gift card would go, I've just got a scrap of basic white cardstock. You'd tuck it in right there, write your note here. The same thing would happen on this card, but as you can see, I've got the triangle on the outside flap. And I did this both ways because I wanted to show you it will work. I didn't want anybody thinking, oh no, I scored the wrong or cut the wrong side. Either way is fine. By having the cardstock here, you've got a slightly sturdier front. Having your gift card here is going to give that a fairly sturdy front too. So either way is fine. Don't worry about it. All right, and then I want to add some of these pretty daisies to this card. And these are from the dies. I'm still trying to figure out, honestly, how these dies work and layer together. I think there's a couple different options, and I'm just getting used to it. So for this card, I'm choosing to use just, maybe I'll go like this. I don't necessarily want to block that big daisy on the front there. So I think we'll kind of go like this. Now these cards, these die cuts are designed to add layers and fluff up a little bit, but I am putting them together this way. And so one of the things that I want to do, because there are pieces to these, this has 3 pieces because the center comes out, this creates a ring, and then you've got the cut image. I don't want those coming apart as I'm layering them. So I am just taking, again, a piece of my tear and tape. You could use your seal, and I'm just running it across the back so that it's catching enough of the flower to hold the pieces together. And so not only am I now holding my flowers together doing this, but I also have adhesive now that I can use when I layer them onto my card front. So we will peel off the back and stick a flower here. Peel off the back there. And I think I want that one going that way. And then this one, I am going to peel off and stick on top like that. And that way all my pieces were held together. Like I said, I've seen these layer, I've seen the outline cut out the flowers. I'm still working with it a little bit and don't have it all fully worked out how I'm going to do it, but the pieces are there, and that is something I'm going to be playing with as we move ahead. So then I want to add some of my toppers to my flowers here, and I thought I had enough of the yellow cut, and I don't. So I am going to take a little pair of scissors and kind of create my own center for right now. Oh, I don't want that one there. All right, let me do this real quick. I'm going to leave that one undone. I will have a yellow center there, but not that big. I just don't want to take time on the video to get that piece corrected. I thought I had enough cut, but I have a feeling one of them is probably on my floor somewhere here. So let's go ahead. Definitely with these leaves, I don't recommend using tear and tape again, but it works. And that's what I have available, so that's what I'm going to do. One thing I'll show you when I get done with the card here is the dies for this set do leave a little bit of embossing onto your images, which gives just some really nice texture to the card. I'm not sure if you can see it on the leaf here. I'm going to try to hold it up a little closer, but a little bit about on the edges, I think you can see the border and how there's an indentation following the border. So it shows up a little bit. And I'm just going to tuck, you know, did I have my leaves tucked in funny? I think they should be more pointed out. Like that. I think I put them in backwards on my other card. That means it's okay to put them either way. Those are my rules. So has everybody had a chance to look through the new catalog? I have only placed Gulp one order, not because I haven't wanted to order more, but because with packing everything up, the last thing I needed to do was to be ordering more flower or more stamps that I would have to pack up. So my reward for getting through all of this unpacking is going to be placing an order. There's a fishing set that I really, really want. So I've been waiting and waiting to be able to order that. So I've got my order ready to go. I just want to time it for when I can just take it from the box and put it onto my shelves rather than having to find another place or home for that. All right, so there is that. And then I've got a little sentiment here, wishing you the brightest birthday. And that did come from the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. It's that one right there. I like this Oops-a-Daisy, so sorry. I think that's a cute sentiment there too. So let's go ahead and add this. And this I do want to pop up on some dimensionals just because I think the card needs a little bit of that. So this handy dandy little bag that I have also happens to have dimensionals, both mini and regular, although my regular ones are kind of beat up. But they will work. Oops, and you can tell that I had to stamp this twice because I'm putting dimensionals on the back side. That's okay. That's why we have an A and a B side, so that we can correct things before they become an issue. And so with this, I'm just going to pop it right here in the middle. And now we've got another birthday card that we can use. So wishing you the brightest birthday. Inside, I can write a note to the recipient. I can stick a little gift card, cash or a check, right into the pocket there. And whoever gets this will be really excited to see both a pretty card, a creative fold, and whatever you put in this pocket here. So I ask for forgiveness for kind of jumping around and not having the most ideal setting here for filming, but it worked and it accomplished my goals, which was to not miss another week of showing you guys how to make a card tonight. So I hope that you enjoy these two cards. They are easy to make and they're fun to put together, and I think they'd work really well with birthdays, with graduations, thank you cards. If you wanted to give somebody a gift certificate or something as a thank you, you could also use it for holidays using holiday designer series paper. I think there's a lot of fun things. And especially when you've got a pattern like this on your designer series paper that takes care of all the fancy decoration, and even on the inside, because it goes so nicely with the other side of your paper, you don't have to do a whole lot to make your card look super fancy. So here you go. Again, the designer series paper is 5 1/4 by 12, scored at 4 1/8. The cardstock on the back is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then whatever pieces you need for your sentiment and to create any die cuts that you want to use. And then this piece of basic white was 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And you can make that bigger or smaller depending on how much you want to write to the recipient. So keep in mind that this will have a much smaller yellow piece in there eventually. Won't be quite that big. And I wish you all a great week and look forward to seeing you hopefully back in my normal space next week. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the warm weather if you're up here in Minnesota too. Sounds like we've got a good week, even if we do have one slightly cooler day coming up. Take care. Bye-bye.